What's going on YouTube? This is Ribo back with another cut or carry gear review. Today I'm looking at another bag and specifically another GreenRoom136 bag. Quite honestly, I'm on a bag kick recently and I am really on a GreenRoom136 kick. And so I love this company. I've really loved everything I've gotten from them. I really enjoy supporting small businesses like that. And I think they're just doing things the right way. So I want to send them as much love as possible. I purchased all these. They don't send me anything, but their support is fantastic. So recently I reviewed the Northseeker, and that bag is great. I love it. But for me particularly, I am working just kind of around town sometimes, and I need the ability to just grab a bag just to fit a laptop and maybe a couple necessities. And the Northseeker is just too big for what I do on a day-to-day basis. So I was looking for something smaller. I placed an order for the Mission Attaché in 13 liter and did a wild card order for that, waited a long time, got that bag in. Super high quality, but right off the bat, I knew it was way too big for what I wanted. So I immediately started looking around and was looking for something else that they made that might kind of hit at what I needed. And that's when I found the Bootstrap. So this is an off-the-shelf Bootstrap. I think this was part of their unicorn sale, where basically different bags for different reasons. Maybe they're made for a video, or they have a small blemish, or maybe they just have something, that they have extras of. These are sometimes bundled with different things, so you can get kind of a good deal. This one came with a random knickknack and maybe something else. I can't remember. But it was available right away. They shipped it. It was to me in just a couple days, which was amazing. And so I just thought, maybe I'll place a wild card order at some point if I like the bag, but let me just try an off the shelf model, how they would build it, and see what I thought. So this is the Bootstrap Small. They do come in 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large. Trying to remember the stated liter size of this. I want to say it's only like a 9 liter, but I could be wrong about that. But it is pretty small and compact. So I've been using this for a while, and I thought I would do a review on it. Quick overview. So you have strap here, sliding support right there. This is with the cam buckle harness, which I'll talk about in a second. You don't have any external pockets on this, at least kind of the off-the-shelf model. You don't, nothing down here. And you have the handle on the back here, which is interesting. We'll talk about that. You have not just the buckles on the front here, but you also have Velcro, which we'll talk about. You have front pockets here, so Velcro, and then you have 2 pockets right here. And then if you stand the bag up, you will see that this front, there's kind of this lining material here. You have this front pocket that's made from that. You have technically side pockets here and here. You have this kind of long flap here. And then you've got pockets and storage in there. You've got this document and laptop sleeve here, and then this back spot right here. So that's kind of just an overview of how the bag is constructed. Now let's get to my thoughts. So let me talk about things that I like and dislike. First of all, I have the high vis, I think they call it marigold, but that very green room distinctive yellow gold lining material. I really do like the high vis. I found that to be really helpful, but I'm not a huge fan of the yellow, particularly with all the different color options. So I think sometimes it looks really good. I think sometimes it doesn't. I actually think it would look really good with this bag, but the silver is what I want to try, or the gray, and thankfully they had that. I think it looks really sharp. I was a little bit worried about a bag that's navy blue, black, and gray, but I think it looks super sharp in person. The Cordura, for as much as I've kind of gotten on it just for its weight, I think the Cordura looks really good. And honestly, compared to the EPX bag that I got from them, it does feel a lot sturdier to me. So I like that a lot more than I thought. I really like the fact that you've got this sliding support right here. Sometimes I wear the bag crossbody, sometimes I'm wearing it just on one shoulder real quick. And so it is very nice to be able to slide that, all the way up or slide it to about halfway. I think it's the right size, good comfort there, and I think that's really, really good. Seatbelt material, great as always. Only place I've had an issue with this is on those fake load lifters. I forget what they call them, fake lifters or whatever. But here it's fantastic, and the cam buckle works really, really well. It's kind of a chunkier buckle, and I wasn't sure what I thought about that at first. But I find that it works really well. I actually do adjust this quite a bit, just depending on how I'm carrying the bag. If I'm carrying it crossbody for a ways, I'm gonna usually pop this open and pull this up a little bit tighter. And that's very, very quick to do, just like that. And then if I'm carrying it just on the shoulder or something, I can just pop it up, drop it down a couple inches, and pop it closed, and it works really, really well. So I like that quite a bit. Other things that I like, it's super compact bag. I don't know if you can tell that, but it is very, very thin. It's just kind of a no fuss bag. I really like that. One of the things that I've noticed with other people reviewing GreenRoom and the Northseeker I got is that you start to just add pockets everywhere when you can do that. It's one of the things, if you can customize your own bag, you're just kind of likely to just start adding stuff everywhere. But it adds weight and it just adds complexity, and what you get a lot of times, and my wife points this out anytime she's got to grab something out of my Northseeker for me, she's like, I don't know where to go. There's just pockets everywhere. And I get that. And so there's something really nice about the simplicity, both visually and functionally, of a bag like this. I really do like that they've continued the strap down here and made it into a useful kind of side, I forget what they call this, but just a side handle right here. You can imagine if you're sliding this into a tight spot, that is very useful to be able to pull out. And I think that's really nice. Another thing I've really enjoyed so far are the D-rings here. I tend to just clip keys and AirPods and stuff like that to the outside. And because it doesn't have any external pockets, there's really no way to throw a key in the bag quietly. And I'll talk about that in a minute. And so having those D-rings there, I think, is very helpful. Maybe not what they were intended for. Maybe there's more of kind of luggage pass-through and stuff like that, but super helpful for me. Let's see, other things that I like. Pull this open really quick. I love this front pocket. I think it's very neat. You've got two pockets here that you can use to store things. I've just got, I think, some like contact solution and extra contacts and charger and stuff like that in there. Stuff that you may not have to get to all the time, but you want to have with you. Tucked away, again, very slim. I think it looks really, really nice. That's the way to do that. The other thing that I really like, so I know this is somewhat controversial for people with the Bootstrap, but some people hate this high flap here. They do this on a few of their models, and this is for, I think, stated for extra weather protection. I love it. I think it actually looks really good, especially if you like that color contrast and you do the gold color here. You're gonna open up the bag and immediately have that. But I just think it gives the bag some definition. And it just kind of, I don't know, it just works to me. It makes me feel like nothing's going to just fall out. Like if you take that all the way down a little bit, a lot of this stuff is kind of hanging out of the bag as soon as you open it. And I just really like that. It gives the bag a lot of structure. In fact, we'll talk about this in a second. Well, we'll talk about this right now. To me, one of the best things about this bag is that it has incredible structure. Messenger bags are notorious, at least in my head, for having terrible structure. And that is, if they're not fully packed out, then they don't sit correctly. I don't know if you can see this. This bag just has an iPad in it, has an empty case right here, and just some little things, but nothing heavy, doesn't have a laptop, no water bottle. And it is sitting perfectly flat, perfectly centered. And it was like this straight out of the box, empty. And I love that. That is hard to do. A lot of bags get that wrong. A lot of backpacks get that wrong. But that is a noticeable difference when you've had a bag that has good structure like that and one that does not. And I think that's something that GreenRoom pays close attention to, and they've done really, really well here. So I like that quite a bit. I do really like how they've also taken this weather flap here and they've made more useful space. I like that they have not tried to add more dividers here, because I like just being able to have kind of this space where you can just throw stuff in and not really worry about it. I find that's probably the pocket, besides the main compartment, I use this the most, because it's very easy to throw stuff in there and grab it out. And so I do like that quite a bit. This is the random knickknack that I got. I'm not always a fan of the colors that they do for the random knickknacks, but I actually really like this one. And I kind of think it goes, maybe it doesn't go great with the bag, but I like this one quite a bit, and maybe I'll review some of these little things at some point. Inside the bag here, you've got your kind of admin type stuff. You have a zip pocket in here. You have these slots where I've just got some pins and flashlights and stuff like that. And then you've got the document storage and laptop sleeve in here. So I'm gonna pull this iPad out so I can talk to this a bit. You have this big spot here, and then you've got the document and laptop sleeve in here. Now, unlike the Mission Attaché, this is not removable. This is sewn in. And you've also got, you've got this nice corduroy. Now, the corduroy, I think, is also somewhat controversial with some people. Some people love it, some people hate it. I have the book pouch, which has the purple corduroy in here. I am not a fan of the purple corduroy, particularly with the yellow. Just a style thing, I don't really like it. I love this corduroy on the Bootstrap. It is very functional. When I throw my laptop in there, it has got some great padding. These are padded on both sides anyway, so it's nice and thick, but it's soft. It goes perfectly. It's like this kind of light silver gray, so it goes really well with this bag. And I love this compartment right here. I love that it's sewn in. I don't really want to remove it on a bag like this. And I use this all the time. This is where I put my laptop, and it fits perfectly. I think I have the 14-inch MacBook Pro maybe. And so I really like that. The document pouch, and I'm going to go ahead and start getting into things that I don't like as much and then kind of work my way backwards. The document storage, which I think is what this front pocket is, I could really go without this. And that is the case on several of the messenger bags that I've seen and handled. It is just really large. It's, to me, not well suited for documents, maybe some books, but it just is kind of an odd pocket, especially when you've got this one on the back, which I think works really well. You'll notice I have the 12.9-inch MacBook Pro. I do a lot of drawing and design for my other job. And so if I put this into the laptop sleeve here, you'll notice that it's pretty high. So it does stick out, which is not really a problem. And this reaches around just fine. But I tend to, bumped the camera. I tend to just slip this back here if I'm carrying the iPad. The MacBook sits down in there just fine. But I really think that to save just a little bit of weight and to make this space a little more useful, because this pocket right here just kind of gets in the way, just kind of flaps around. It's too loose. I think if anything, making this material a little bit tighter. But I haven't really found anything that I can actually use that for consistently. And so I'd much rather just have the Velcro attached to the laptop sleeve itself. That would be probably my one biggest improvement on the inside here. The other thing that I'm not a huge fan of, let me flip the bag around here, and it's not terrible, but it's another point to maybe too many pockets, is there's this zip pocket in here. And while I think this could be some great use for maybe if you have to store your wallet or important documents, something that you want to be a little bit more hidden, this works well. But I think it's a very awkward pocket to get to. Let's see, I've got some mints down here. I don't know why those are down there, but I think it's a very awkward pocket to access, because if you're going at it from this side, how I would typically do, you're kind of turning your hand like this, and then this zipper gets caught up a little bit. And it's just a little bit difficult to access, especially if you've got pins and gear right here. Maybe you have a knife or a Leatherman or flashlight, whatever. And so then this zipper is kind of interfering with this stuff. And I just find that it's not really super usable. Most of the things I'm going to put here, I'm just going to throw up front right here. So not a huge fan of that. Other things that I'm not a huge fan of. Okay, so this is, this is something that I'll say it's not that I'm not a huge fan, but I'm going to make one change. So this has kind of double locking or double closure, if you will. So you have Velcro, and you can see that when I close this, it's just closing on the Velcro, and then you can also buckle it here. When I ordered this, either I meant to order the strap silencers or they forgot them. Either way, I've got some on the way to me right now. I have found two things, and they're kind of contradictory. Number one, I was not expecting to like the Velcro just because it's Velcro and it's super loud. And I take this into business meetings or into different places where it's difficult to open it. And I find, I need to get something out of my bag, but I don't really want to do this in the middle of a meeting. And so for me, the Velcro silencers are going to probably immediately go on here and not come off for that reason only. That being said, I have found that practically when I'm grabbing the bag to go, it is much easier to just throw it like that and I'm on my way. And I don't typically lock these because that does do a very good job of holding the bag closed. So to me, it's one of those things where it's probably an either or, but I do like that they give the versatility to just add those Velcro silencers, hook and loop silencers or whatever, so that you can use one or the other. So I appreciate that. I do think it works very well, but for me, it's incredibly loud, and so I'm looking forward to getting those in. The only other thing that I am not a huge fan of on this bag, and it sounds like I'm making a huge list, but really there's only a couple things, and I can't really figure this one out if I like or hate this, but the handle here, which typically on a messenger bag you would have at the very top, the handle is offset. And when I first got it, I just was kind of surprised. I hadn't noticed that before on the Bootstrap pictures or reviews. And it's kind of interesting because I can't figure out exactly what I think about it. I don't think I'm a fan, and only because when you pick the bag up, you're kind of, it's at an awkward angle at that point. If you have the bag really weighted down, maybe it's not as much of an issue, but I have found that if I get in the car and I throw the bag in the car and then I go to grab it to leave, I grab it like this and it just pulls at a weird angle, and I feel like I don't have a great grip on the bag. It just feels like I'm holding it awkwardly. And so I'm not exactly sure what the point of that was. I may be missing something. It's not terrible. There are some situations where I actually kind of like that, laying it down and things like that. And so I don't totally hate it, but I think it would be improved by just moving it to the traditional space up here. It definitely does make for a much cleaner look of the bag. I mean, this is a very clean looking bag, and I do really appreciate that. But yeah, so that is the GreenRoom136 Bootstrap. Cut or carry from me, this is a carry. This is a bag, when I opened it, I immediately was like, oh yeah, this is just about perfect for what I was looking for everyday carry needs. There are things I would change. There are, if I did a wild card, there's some stuff I'd play around with. But overall, this is a fantastic bag, and I really do love this company. If you have not checked them out, please go do so. They are always doing cool things. I love the way they engage with the community, and I'm a big fan. I think I have, at this point, 2 more bags on the way for them, so this is not the last you'll see on the channel. But drop me a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.